All right, well, I finally broke down and bought some plants. I have been chomping at the bit to be able to do a flower bed this year. Because of the quarantine, I haven't been going to stores or anything. I was doing grocery pickup for my mother in law, and I forgot something in the order. And consequently, I had to go into Walmart. Well, they've changed how you go into Walmart now. You can only have so many people in Walmart at one time. So, while I was waiting my turn to go into Walmart, they had tons of plants lined up by the door, and I went shopping. Now, mind you, when I did go into Walmart, when I finally got in, I had my mask on. My mother in law had made a couple of masks for us. So I did use the mask when I went in there. I only had to get like 3 or 4 things that was forgotten, but I would definitely say this is what I'm most proud of from that haul. And I won't lie, it felt good. This is one thing that I've really been missing. So I can try and go through and pronounce all the names of these plants, but I would probably slaughter them. So if you have any questions about what type of plants are in here, just leave a comment below. And I still have all the little tags that came with them, and I will let you know. Good morning. It's Saturday here, and it's really overcast. It's supposed to rain today, but we were hoping to get our fence post up today. Steve got an auger for the tractor this week, and we have one fence post up already. We did that one just to see how it was going to work, but we are going to work on that today, so long as the rain holds off. And it's not supposed to rain all day, just off and on. I think around 2 is when it's supposed to be most prevalent. So we'll get as much done as we can today. And then what we don't get done today, we've got tomorrow, all next week. We've got time to get it done. So no big deal. I did come out here this morning first thing and plant a flower bed. It's been something that I've wanted to do. I've really been itching to do it. I mean, just chomping at the bit, because it's one of the things that I really enjoy. And with the pandemic going on, I haven't been able to go to Walmart and shop or go to the nurseries or Home Depot, because I simply wasn't going to go put myself in a position where I would be exposed. Anderson and my mother-in-law both have compromised immune systems, so it's too risky. Anyway, I did get out here this morning because it's supposed to rain, and I wanted to get this flower bed planted. If any of you know me personally, this is going to come as a shock to you, but I actually got out here this morning and planted this flower bed before I had had my coffee. I made my coffee, brought it out here with me, see? Took one sip of it and got to work. And that's huge. I mean, huge. I know Amber knows what I'm talking about. She and I love coffee equally as much. So yes, that was a huge thing for me. But that just shows you how bad I've been wanting to work in flowers. But anyway, I got out here this morning, got it knocked out. Steve is actually back there pulling old bolts and I guess like screws and nails out of the fence posts that we're going to use, because we're using old they're actually poles that were in our barn from when it got torn down by the tornado. And so he's cleaning those up so that we can use them on our fence. And of course, you don't want all that stuff hanging out, because it would make it hard to attach the fence to it. So he's out there doing that. I've got this knocked out. I'm going to do a couple more things, and then hopefully we can get started on digging the fence post before the rain sets in. So stay tuned. Now, if you're wondering about this container, This is actually a container that Steve found when he was clearing out some of the woods here on our property. It's an old water trough. I think they used to use it for their cows, the previous owners. But I found it, and well, I say I found it. Steve found it, and he brought it up, and he's like, "Hey, I thought you could use this for one of your flower beds, hun." And I certainly wanted to. I do have to, if you notice this little section right here, I do have to go beat that down with a hammer because it is sharp and it will slice you. So Steve got this stuff. We've never used it before, but we're gonna try it. You put this down in the garden and it helps prevent weeds, or it's supposed to anyway. So we're gonna plant our squash, our butternut squash, and some watermelon using this, and hopefully that will help cut down on the weeds, so that they can vine out and run like they're supposed to. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it works wonders. That's one of the issues that we have when we do plant anything that vines on the ground, is it's really hard to keep the weeds out of it, even when you try to go in and hoe it manually. A lot of times you end up nicking the vines or even cutting them off. So I'm really hoping this stuff works. Here are our itty bitties. We moved them in here under the on the concrete under the barn, just because of the rain. You know, with them being small still, they don't need to get wet, but they're growing good. And as soon as the rain's over, we plan on introducing them to the other biddies that we have and the ducks and the geese. We're going to take this run that they're in and put it in the fence with them, with the ducks and the geese and the other chickens, so that they can get used to these biddies. If you do that and leave them in there for a little bit, they become accepted, and the older chickens are less likely to peck on these and pick on them. And if you didn't know, chickens will actually peck some of the younger ones to death if they're not accepted. So there is a process that you have to go through when you are introducing new members of the flock. So there's a lot of information out there. You can Google it, but this is just the way we do it. It seems to work really well, and I think this run that Steve built is massively helpful, because it lets the older birds see these younger ones and get used to them, so that they're not seen as like an invader. But yeah, so that's what we're gonna do. And once we introduce them to the other ones, we will definitely let y'all see it. I thought about that too.
You should go out to your greenhouse and do that.
What greenhouse? Oh, wait, I don't have one.
Right. It's probably your husband's fault for not doing enough.
Of course.
Not making enough money.
It's always your fault, Lovey.
Yeah.
I did add in the clips of us working on the hog pen. Obviously that was from probably, I guess we started on it about a week ago. But I did want to add it into this video. I didn't have enough footage to make an entire video of just the hog pen build, but I did want to include it because obviously it's a important part to us building our farm here. And I'm going to add some clips of our piggies that we have coming. We're getting 2 pigs from our pastor and his wife. Right now they're not old enough to leave mom yet, so they'll be there for a little while longer, and then once they're big enough that they can't get through the hog panels, then they can come home to us and obviously they have to be off of their mom's milk as well. So I've got a little bit longer, but I will put clips in so that you can see what they look like. All right, well, we've got the hog panels all laid out. There's 6 of them total. And now we're fixing to go get the tractor and the T-posts. And there's Joshy. And we're gonna start putting our corner posts down and getting this built. Everyone say hi to Josh. Joshy, hey buddy. He's a stray that came up and he has never left. And that's okay. Having to level out some of the ground so that the fencing goes evenly across the land and doesn't have gaps underneath it. And we've got cowbirds out there grazing in the field. Quick story for you. Probably 2 or 3 years ago now, we had a tornado come through and it ripped off half of our barn, the back half. And when that happened, we lost all of these traps. We had no clue where they were. Well, today when we were setting up the pig pen, we found them in a bunch of debris. So there she is. She's not completely done. We got to go back and put a gate in. We've got to tie the actual hog panels to the rest of the posts. We got most of them done, but there still are some that need to be tied down at the bottom. But I think that was a very good start. I wish that one would dive under again.
The goose?
Yeah, because he was having a blast.
Yeah, we can go up probably in a minute.
That one?
We're all enjoying it right now.
They are.
They're like, this is fun. A little cold, but...
I think the geese are just starting to get a little wet.
Yeah, that one isn't.
Yeah.
What did you do? Stick
then don't do it.
No, that gun.
No, I don't think the gun's scary.
Shake your little tail feathers.
Shaky, shaky, shaky. So I can't go past the tree.
They're over there preening themselves now. The sun's starting to come out. All right, playtime's over. Back in the pen. All right, well, I don't know about you, but I enjoy it when the ducks and the geese are able to get in the pond and feed around and play like they're supposed to. Our goal is to start doing that every day. That way it gets them used to the pond, and that way they learn that they're going to feed down there. And eventually, you know, obviously the ducks will go in the pond full time, but you have to get them acclimated to it first. Otherwise, they don't know that that's where they're supposed to be. As you saw from the video where we tried to put them in there the first time, didn't work out so well because they weren't used to it. So yeah, we're going to be doing that hopefully every day as long as it's not raining. Sun's actually starting to come out now, so it's really hot and muggy and nasty feeling. And hopefully we'll be able to put some fence posts in the ground today. That's the plan anyway, but if not, like I said, we got time.